It is 1 in the morning. You are alone in the street coming back from a friend's party, and you decide to walk home because you don't live far. Your phone dies, no more battery. You don't know this part of the city very well, and you can no longer use your Maps app. So you decide to ask for directions from one of the 2 people you see at the end of the street. There is Ted and Jacques. You look at them carefully. You take a few seconds, you observe each of them, and you make your choice. I am 99% sure you chose that person right there. They seem friendly, welcoming, open, and trustworthy. On top of that, they know the way very well, and they even offer to walk you there to make sure you're safe. You accept, and you start walking. And then, what if I told you that this person is actually Ted Bundy, one of the most infamous serial killers in American history, and that the other one is Jacques, a physics professor at a prestigious university? Your first impression just puts you in a very bad situation, a potentially dangerous one. And don't worry, I would have fallen for it too. Because this is not a question of intelligence or vigilance, it is a question of how your brain is wired. There is something about the way your brain processes people that you are going to discover here, something nobody ever clearly explained to you. And once you understand it all the way through, you will never look at other people the same way again. You have probably noticed that when you look at the sun, sometimes it has its normal shape in the sky. And sometimes it appears brighter than usual, surrounded by a small ring of light. That is called a halo. It is an optical effect that makes it shine more than it normally would. But this effect does not only apply to the sun. In our scenario, it applied to Ted Bundy by completely fooling your brain. You built a positive overall impression based on 1 or 2 visual cues. And in psychology, this phenomenon is called the halo effect. We are going to explore together just how powerful this effect is, how it shapes every single one of your encounters without you being aware of it, and most importantly, how to master it so that it works in your favor. The halo effect, also known as the notoriety effect or the contamination effect, is a cognitive bias that affects how we perceive people. To explain what a cognitive bias is, it is an automatic judgment error that our brain produces without us even realizing it. Our brain is constantly looking to save energy, to take shortcuts, to classify people quickly. And it is precisely in those shortcuts that the halo effect takes root. This perception is based on the first impression our brain builds when we meet someone. I am sure you have already met someone who turned out to be nothing like the person you had imagined at the start. This may have happened in a positive way, or in a negative way. Well, that is exactly because of the halo effect. This phenomenon was identified by Edward Thorndike, an American psychologist in 1920. If what you are hearing right now truly resonates with you, if you feel this content is giving you something you had never clearly put into words before, subscribe now to this channel and activate the bell so you never miss any of these videos, because every episode is designed to give you an edge in the way you understand people and yourself. He set up an experiment within the American Army. Let us imagine 4 soldiers, the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. Their superiors had to evaluate them based on their appearance, their intelligence, their leadership, their loyalty, and their discipline. Each quality was supposed to be judged independently of the others, without one influencing another. In theory, after analyzing all the results obtained, Thorndike noticed something very surprising. People who were attractive and well-groomed automatically received better scores on aspects like intelligence or courage, without their superiors having any valid evidence to support those scores. And those who were less attractive and less well-groomed received lower scores. The conclusion of this experiment is that human beings never judge qualities separately. They always build an overall impression, either positive or negative. When you meet someone, the first interactions often determine whether you perceive them positively or negatively. These perceptions are caused by 2 types of halo effects. The first, the affective halo. It occurs when we judge someone positively or negatively based on a single criterion, such as their appearance or their attitude. The second, the cognitive halo. It appears when our judgment is influenced by opinions or information that others have passed on to us. For example, if someone tells you that a person is unpleasant or unintelligent, you risk forming a negative image of them before you have even met them. And inevitably, your interaction with them will be different from what it would have been if you had heard nothing at all. Your brain will have already constructed a reality before you even gave them a chance. This effect is absolutely everywhere. In the world of fashion, you have surely seen completely ridiculous items that you approved of simply because they came from a major luxury brand. If that same ugly item had been sold by an unknown brand from your street corner, you would have found it hideous. And if that same brandless item had been worn by your favorite celebrity, you would have had much more confidence in it, because you idealize that person. The item gets placed on a pedestal in your brain without you even noticing. Advertising understood this a long time ago and has been using it against us ever since. You now understand better why Adidas, Nike, and all these major brands use sports stars to promote their products. It allows them to associate the qualities of that person with the products they are selling. The athlete's talent, discipline, and success unconsciously transfer onto the sneaker or the t-shirt. And you buy it without even realizing it, a little bit of that image. Now that you are aware of this effect, you might think that you will never be fooled again. Well, it is more complicated than that. Even when you are aware of its presence, it is hard to believe that it is influencing you. To prove this, Richard Nisbett and Timothy Wilson showed a video of a professor to two groups of participants. For the first group, the professor was warm and friendly. For the second group, the same professor was cold and distant. The participants had to rate him on several aspects, and the warmer version received better scores on his appearance, his way of speaking, and even his physical attractiveness, even though it was exactly the same person with the same knowledge and the same skills. At the end of the experiment, the participants were informed about the halo effect, and they refused to believe they had been influenced by it. This proves that even when you are aware of the halo effect, your brain will often be fooled. And if you are telling yourself, "Not me," look at this. Imagine you meet a celebrity you genuinely admire, someone you have been following for years, whose videos you have watched dozens of times. I am sure that you will feel much less confident during the conversation because you are putting them on a pedestal. They will be above you in your brain because of their popularity, their audience, their influence. And you will feel much less at ease than if you were talking with a complete stranger on the street. So even if you are aware of the effect, it will often play a role in your social interactions. But since the beginning, I have mostly talked about what this effect does to you. Yet you can also very easily use it to your advantage. Your first impression can be a success and allow you to reach your goals much more easily. Let us take a concrete example. If you are looking for a job, you have surely heard that the first few seconds of an interview are often the most important. Making a good impression from the start gives you much better chances of performing well, because it places you on a pedestal in your recruiter's brain. That is why you should always use that first impression to your advantage whenever you meet people. When you introduce yourself to a group, being smiling, confident, well-dressed, and composed will offer you a positive image in the minds of others. You will be seen as someone more attractive, more intelligent, more reliable. People will unconsciously attribute qualities to you they have not yet had time to verify. And if by chance the person you are attracted to is in that group, you have already won by projecting that positive image from the very start. It is also very important to never speak negatively about yourself in the first words you say, because those are often the ones that build your first image and define your first impression. Imagine I introduce you to one of my friends by giving him 5 characteristics about you. First version: this guy is so cool, intelligent, good-looking, but sometimes he complains and he is annoying. Second version: this guy is annoying, always complaining, but he is good-looking, intelligent, and so cool. The second way of introducing you will not land the same way in my friend's head. He will have a more negative image of you, even though those are the exact same 5 words. The difference is that we started with the negative in the second situation. So always start with the positive elements in your speeches and your introductions. This effect can also be applied in many other areas of daily life. If you are launching a project, a brand, or even a YouTube channel, taking care of your image from the start will create a positive impression that influences how people perceive your work. It contributes to giving the feeling that what you do is quality, even before people have taken the time to truly look into it. And it is the same in your social life. Your energy, your posture, your gaze often say more than words. People form an opinion of you in a few seconds, and it is that opinion that will color everything they see from you afterward. Mastering the halo effect is a little like having an invisible bonus in your interactions. You put all the odds in your favor so that others perceive the best of what you are. But it is just as important to learn to be aware of it and not to let yourself be trapped. Many people project an image that influences our judgment without us realizing it. That is why you sometimes need to step back from your first impressions. In your social or romantic relationships, try not to idealize someone too quickly. Behind a positive first impression, there are always nuances to discover. Taking the time to observe and to get to know people better will allow you to have more sincere, more balanced, and more solid relationships. You can use this knowledge to put your best self forward during an interview, a sale, or an important encounter. You will more easily reach your goals by projecting the best version of yourself. And you will avoid being trapped by first impressions that do not always reflect reality. The halo effect is a little like a light. It can illuminate you or blind you. And now that you know how it works, it is up to you to choose how you use it. Because people who understand this mechanism no longer experience their relationships the same way. They observe more, they judge less quickly, and they show up with far more intention. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for allowing these words to enter your mind. This is not mere content. It is a conversation between two souls.